what do you think about Paul MacLean being hired?
I don't know.
Do you like him? Do you know anything about him?
Not really, but I think Sheldon Keefe's scared, and that's why they went with Manny Malhotra. I don't think
scared of what?
Bruce Boudreau. I think he was intimidated by him because you know what happened? If the Leafs went on a shitty run and they lost, say they were 6 games under 500, then people start rumbling saying, maybe we should get Bruce Boudreau and fire Sheldon Keefe. I think he's scared, and that's why Boudreau wasn't put on.
But if that's the case, man, like the next axe to fall here, like Dubas will be gone before Keefe.
Should be.
Will be. Like, maybe not. Hopefully they get it figured out and they can fucking get this thing going here. Hopefully they both succeed. But, okay, you're telling me.
I like Keefe too. I just think he was, I don't know. I think he was intimidated by, I just think, why wasn't he hired?
You want to talk about, I think they should have hired him, but you want to talk about, I'm going to go over Mr. Mustache here in a second, but you want to talk about intimidation. Dude, like, Bruce Boudreau intimidating? Look at the guy they just hired. There's no more, it doesn't get more intimidating than that.
When you've had a stash like that your whole life, it's game over.
I've got a pretty good one going too right now.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty dirty.
It's not Paul MacLean.
No, it's not.
It's not too bad, but.
Okay, I thought they were going to hire Bruce Boudreau. Did you guys not think the same thing?
I thought it was done. I read the articles. It was a done deal. And then all of a sudden, okay, did you see them hiring fucking, what's his name?
No, I
didn't see them hiring either one of these guys. But you know what? I kind of think both these moves are smarter than hiring Bruce Boudreau. And I love Bruce Boudreau. But as a hockey sense, like, has Bruce ever won? Bruce ever done?
No.
He's won. He's a winning coach, but he's never, I think he's been to a final, never won one, that's cool, whatever. Paul MacLean as a head coach didn't have, well, fuck. Okay, let's go over this then.
Paul MacLean won the Jack Adams Award as a head coach.
He did. So
he didn't win anything like Stanley Cup wise.
I'm stealing.
He had a good record.
He's won a Stanley Cup, not as a head coach.
Not as a head coach, as assistant coach with Babs.
Yeah. So just to go over some, like, off of Twitter, like, you know, he brings Stanley Cup experience. Like, he's a coach behind the bench that's won a Stanley Cup. When's the last time you can say they had that? Oh yeah, Babcock, fucking, I guess, whatever. Last time MacLean won a cup was the last time Babcock won a cup too.
Yeah.
He was on that coaching staff.
But MacLean doesn't think he's the smartest man in the room.
No, he doesn't. But I don't know. He was under Babcock's wing for a while. That scares me a little bit. But anyway,
who's going to run the penalty kill and all? Is that Malhotra? Is that?
Okay, hang on. We'll get into that in a second. But he's won a cup, although it was a while ago, as an assistant. He won a cup as an assistant. That's a good sign. He won the Jack Adams as a head coach. He was nominated for the Jack Adams a few times. Didn't win a couple times, but he did win one time as a head coach. And most recently, he was the assistant coach in Columbus. I didn't even know that. So did you know that? Did you guys know that?
I did, yeah. He was on the bench. He was on the bench.
I didn't know that he was. I thought I would have saw that mustache. But anyway, so right there. Okay, so who works? Name me a harder working team in the league than the Columbus Blue Jackets.
True.
Yeah, but is that more? Is that
can you name
more?
one?
Is that more Torts?
I think that's Torts' system, and everyone else just.
But do you not see MacLean kind of like Torts isn't going to have guys on his staff that don't like see eye to eye with him? So do you not think MacLean is like kind of a ball buster too? Like, look, guys, this is how we're doing it, and this is how we're doing it.
I don't know. That's not a very intimidating mustache. I wouldn't be too scared. It's not intimidating. It's more of a fluffy, I'm a nice guy type mustache.
Oh, I don't think so.
That's why him and Babcock got along so good.
Babcock wasn't intimidated by the stash?
No, Babcock was the intimidating one, and MacLean was the fluffy, nice guy with the big stash. I'm your buddy. Let me just touch it. You'll like it. That type of guy.
All right. Well,
okay. I think the mustache is off the charts, insane. But
I don't know.
Okay, so let me go. I didn't see it coming. We'll go into Manny Malhotra in a second, but I just want to say this. I don't know if you saw this today, Chad, on Twitter or not, or Derek, if you saw this, but you know the relationship between Keefe and MacLean? There's a relationship there. Did you guys know that?
No, what is it?
Okay.
What is it?
Paul MacLean is the father of the Marlies assistant coach that has been Sheldon's assistant coach with the Marlies for the entire time that he's been there. So Sheldon, he's best friends with like this guy. He's worked with him for more than a decade. He's worked with him for more than a decade. I guess he was in the Sioux with them too. I don't know. AJ McLean, I guess is his name. And so Keefe knows Paul as like one of his best friends' dad. There's a relationship there that's been there for the last 10 years. I didn't know that until today. But now that you know that, does this not make a lot more sense?
Yeah. Kind of.
Well, because
Keefe at all in the
Keefe
last
has a say.
2 weeks that MacLean was even on the radar?
But this isn't like he's not walking in blind like, oh, hi, Sheldon, I'm Paul, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. They've known each other for 10 years. He's best friends with his son.
They interview for these jobs.
I know, but like
Keefe and Dubas would sit down and they would interview, and Shanahan, they would sit down and they would interview all the assistants. That's what they said about Manny Malhotra is he wasn't really on their list as hiring, but when they interviewed him, something just clicked.
Well, look how
they
well
were like, this is our guy.
Was he running the offense in Vancouver?
I don't know what he was running, but he just clicked. Keefe liked him.
I heard he was worked on face-offs. He's a good face-off guy. This is what people are saying. Wow. He actually
they need that with the Leafs.
Vancouver with the face-offs and the defensive end. So he might help the Leafs.
The guy's on overdrive. Like, I don't know if you caught the day they hired Malhotra.
Same thing. Great guy.
Ray Ferraro was like, this guy's hockey IQ is off the charts. He's going to be a head coach one day, and he's going to be a head coach for a long time. This is a stepping stone. So nobody has anything bad to say about Manny Malhotra. So, hey, man, I like both of these hires, to be honest. I don't like the fact that MacLean was in Ottawa because fucking I hate the Ottawa Senators, but take that out of the equation. And I think it's now that I know that he already has a relationship with Sheldon and he's not going in blind. He's known this guy for 10 years. So clearly there's like Sheldon's not and Kyle aren't going to hire him if they don't think like he's on the same page with their philosophy of how they want to play, or that he can help them in certain areas, like get better fucking defensively, which they dramatically need to do.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that is why Bruce Boudreau wasn't hired. I don't think it was an intimidation thing. Yeah, I think they went with the guys that they felt would best help improve the team.
I think so too.
And that's what they did.
And be like, I don't think Boudreau's a fit.
I think Boudreau's a great coach, and I think he's got
2 months from now when they.
Yeah, I could, but that could happen now with Paul MacLean.
Sure.
Like if the Leafs.
No, I don't think so.
I know Bruce Boudreau has a bigger name than Paul MacLean, but it could still happen. But I think they interviewed Manny Malhotra and they interviewed Paul MacLean, and they were like, "These are our guys." Like I think if Boudreau had have knocked them off their seats, they would have hired Bruce Boudreau.
Okay, I like the Boudreau hire would have been like nice, like sentimentally, because like he loves the Leafs, right? They should give him a job anyway. Just give him a job in like the front, like as an advisor.
Yeah, remember when they had?
He doesn't need to be behind the bench.
Who was it? They had Jacques Lemaire. Remember? And he just sat. He sat up.
He sat at home. He watched games from fucking home, and then
do that for Bruce Boudreau, for God's sake.
He called in like, that wasn't
a fucking usher or something. Give him one of those jobs.
He could do something like that.
So. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. Like, I think it's at first I was like, but now that I know the backstory, that there is a backstory there's been a long existing relationship there, makes a ton of sense. Was he working the defense in Columbus? Like, he's a defensive minded guy, right?
Okay. He is a defensive minded guy. So those Ottawa teams played really, really good man-to-man defense.
Oh, they had
5-on-5. They were great.
100%, man. Like, I think the longest runs they went on were with him, other than the Cup final and fucking whatever when the Anaheim beat him. He wasn't there for that, but
he had his record as a head coach is pretty damn good.
I think that if he was coaching the Columbus defense, which I think he was, like obviously Tortorella has a say in that, but like look how well and like structured and just how hard the Columbus defense. Like sure they got two big names back there. Everybody else, the other four, like are kind of like they're good, but
they're better than the Leafs bottom four.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's Tort's system. That's his system he puts in place. Like Keefe doesn't have that system, right?
No,
but does it not kind of like, you know,
it just goes to show what a good system does. Look at the playoffs.
But you know what?
Look what a good system does. They shut the Leafs down bad. Like I know Ricky and Jones played fucking 20-some minutes every game, but
it doesn't matter. As a Leaf fan, this has nothing to do with Keefe. This goes back to like the early 2000s. This goes back further than that. How long have we been talking about the Leafs defense? Like since I was a kid, ever since the 93 team broke up.
Do you know what we had when we got through the playoffs before? We had Ed Belfour and Curtis Joseph. That's
exactly.
If we didn't have them, we wouldn't have got past the first round.
When's the last time in any memory in your 40 years or however old you are on Earth, when is the last memory you have the Leafs having a great defensive core? It's never happened.
Early 90s. Early 90s.
93.
So we can say, oh, you know, Keefe and Paul MacLean does a great job at doing this, and Babcock does this, and we can blame it on the coaches, but it's all the general managers leading up to Kyle Dubas have failed to bring in a defense, a defensive core, and now it's Dubas's job.
Guys like Todd Gill, Lefebvre, Elliott,
but it was a good core. It was a good core.
They were good defensemen, and we don't have it. We got Riley and like Dermott right now. For me,
we got Riley, Muzzin, and nothing.
Dermott. He's a 5th, 6th defenseman. If you're lucky, sign him cheap. I couldn't give a shit whether they sign him. He drives me nuts.
Yeah, 5, 6 for sure.
I don't like him.
So I just want to touch on one thing Derek said, and then I want to hit on something else about Dubas. Derek mentioned something about I forget when we were talking about Columbus and MacLean. So like, you know, he coaching Columbus, like they just fucking beat the Leafs. One of you two just mentioned something about like, oh, like he was able to get the defense to like, so he knows what the Leafs were like. Yeah. What their game plan was going up against Leafs. He's going to bring that now into the Leafs room and be like, well, here's what we did.
Yeah.
Here's what we did to beat you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it got to the point where they made Sheldon Keefe put all his big boys on one line, which sucked. It was great for 2 minutes, and then after
it was so hard to score a goal.
Second, third, fourth line did nothing. It was like you can't do that.
But hang on, no. But just do you not think it's huge that they're bringing in a guy on the coaching staff that just played or that just coached on the team that beat you, and to be like. To kind of like, this is how we did it. Like, this is how we beat you. This is what,
it's like getting a cheat code for a video game.
100%.
This guy's coming in with the playbook and being like,
you can't do this and you can't do that, or else you're going to get beat.
Look, we knew
you got to do this and you got to do this.
He's going to come in and be like, we knew that Matthews and Marner like to do this. Nylander likes to do this. Tavares likes to do this.
Other than 2 games, wasn't even and Nylander wasn't even fucking there.
Well, he was. He had one of the more productive playoffs.
Oh, he was playing. I didn't think he was. That was such a bad series.
What are you gonna do?
But anyway, you're right. Paul MacLean's coming in being like, hey, this is how we did it.
So I think that's a huge advantage. It's going to be great. It's like going over video and like I think this is a huge. I like it. I really like it. I think it's going to
be good. I think
it's going to improve the deal. Like, look at the Seth MacFarlane and fucking Ron Hextall. Who do we have last season? Were those the two assistants?
That's who it was.
Yeah.
You got better.
Hextall and MacFarlane, though. That's the truth, right?
Paul MacFarlane. Yeah.
So to go from those two to Malhotra and fucking Mustache, that's a major fucking upgrade in my opinion. Hey guys, Dale here from the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can like us on Facebook to stay up to date with everything the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast has coming in the near future in regards to the new season with the Toronto Maple Leafs, a few other things as well. You can also listen to our podcast on all podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you can listen to podcasts, we're there. The Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. We'd sure appreciate your support, and we'll see you soon. Catch you later.